Hey everybody out there, today for you guys, I'm going to be profiling for you guys a deck that, gosh, I haven't profiled since I was like 14 years old, back in 2004 I think it was, with 2005, doing GOAT format, and this is a deck I've always had a special place in my heart, and I've literally been putting it on the back burner for about a year and a half now of rebuilding and whatnot. I've been slowly accumulating the cards. And I'm thoroughly happy today to bring to you guys a deck profile of a deck called Master Monk. Yes, my Master Monk deck. Now, there is really no template out there for this deck currently. Any templates I saw were from GOAT format when this deck was somewhat popular as a rogue strategy. There's a couple people out there who have played around the deck over the last 2 to 3 years, and I've tried to come up with some combobulation of a deck over the last 2 months. And I've been playtesting this deck quite a lot. So there's different ways you can build this deck, but this is pretty much like a rock stun type of deck. It uses a lot of koa'ki, if you guys are familiar with rock stun back in the day. So I'm still testing out cards and ratios. The thing's not perfected, but I've put a lot of thought and effort into this deck. So without further ado, let us get into the deck profile and talk about the deck. So you could pretty much call this Rock Stun Monk, if you wanted to, or Monk Stun. Monk Stun as I call it. So first we run 3 Master Monk, and we run 3 Monk Fighter. Now, Monk Fighter, don't worry about him. If he attacks, you take no battle damage. Master Monk, I wish I had an ultra rare, but they're way too expensive, so I'm just using my supers that I've had for years now. Pretty much states that this guy can attack twice. So you can special summon this guy out if you have Monk Fighter on the field. Tribute this, special summon to bring out Master Monk from your hand. That's how that works. He can attack twice. That's kind of cool. So he can put a lot of damage in if you equip him, or he can clear boards if you have him equipped with something, say, like a Moon Mirror Shield or something of that nature. So this is the Monk-based archetype of the deck. The rest is pretty much Rock Stun, even though we do run some Monk-esque cards. But from playtesting and practice, I found that this was the best way to run the deck, actually, overall. So, because he's not a warrior, so he's a rock, so you gotta find some support, because rock is a very underrated support besides Rock Stun, or koa'ki Rock Stun. So, first off, we run 3 koa'ki Gardener. This guy negates monster effects, which is kind of cool. He's a 19 beat stick. Everything is rock based in the deck, so you can negate things. We also run 3 koa'ki Overload. I think in the OCG this card was Overdose, but as you can imagine, they didn't want to have Overdose in a card name apparently. But this guy negates card effects. This guy negates summonings. Very good, very effective. The only restraint is you have to reveal a rock monster in your hand or a koa'ki card in your hand that's a rock type to keep him alive on the board, which that's very easily done. You can reoccur these cards from your graveyard by using things like Call of the Haunted and Monster Reborn, so they work out pretty well. But these are the best koa'ki rock cards out there currently. So pretty much it's a stun-based deck, and then once you've drained your opponents, you go with Monk Fighter to kill them or run over things. So you slowly whittle away your opponent's life points. Next we run 1 koa'ki Wall and 1 koa'ki Sandman. Now, you could run multiple of these, it just depends, but I just like them as a one-of, and I can reuse them through Call or Monster Reborn or what have you. And depending upon the matchup, you can side into more of these, but I just like them as one-ofs right now, because they're not as useful, quote-unquote, than the other ones of Overload and Guardian. So, Sandman negates traps. You can tribute him to negate traps, and Wall negates spells. So you can go with either ratio that you want, but I'm just running them as a 1-1 for right now, and they work fairly well. The good thing about all the koa'ki is they have 19 attack, which is pretty cool. Along for your stun aspect, we run 3 Ash Blossoms and Joyous Springs, very essential to your deck. and how it functions, because you want to negate your opponent's stuff. So, 3 Ash, Blossom and Joy Springs as well. Then we won Koa'ki Diamond. This card's really, really useful. This is pretty much a Rhoda for the Koa'ki and helps protect them. So yeah, 3 Koa'ki Diamond. This is pretty much Rhoda for all your Koa'ki, so you can easily search them out and search the proper ones you want right away. So 3 Koa'ki Diamond. 2 Mirror Shield. You can equip this guy to Master Monk. You can also equip this to whatever card you really need to help get over certain things. Because the problem this deck will have is, yes, it's a stun-based deck, but it has a hard time getting over big monsters. So you can equip Mirror Shields to everything and just run over things. That's why I'm running it as a 2-of, because this card is very useful in outing big problematic monsters. So 2 Moon Mirror Shield just helps get around things. You could run Hidden Armory if you want to, but I just like 2 Moon Mirror Shield instead. 2 Legendary Black Belt. Thank you for my friend for giving me his ultimate rares a while ago. But this guy you equip pretty much to Monk Fighter, Chusuke the Mouse, which I was trying to fit into the deck, but it just worked better as a Rock Stun and Monk deck. Pretty much what this card does, if your opponent destroys a monster, if your Monk or Master Monk destroys a monster, your opponent takes damage. So pretty much I'll read it to you guys if you don't know what it does. When the equipped monster destroys an opponent's monster and sends it to the graveyard as a result of battle, inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to the defense of the destroyed monster. So if it's a 2,000 defense monster, they take 2,000 damage in addition to their attack damage that they took. So if they took maybe 800 damage and then 2,000 because of the monster's defense, they take 28 damage total. So this guy works well in combination if you can equip it to a Monk or a Monk Fighter along with your Moon Mirror Shield, because you can run over anything. They will be taking a lot of damage, plus you can swing twice. So Moon Mirror Shield as well, I should mention, if you equip this to a Monk Fighter, you can clear boards, quote unquote, because you can attack twice. So you can attack, run over a monster, attack, run over another monster. So very, very useful. But 2 Legendary Black Belt. You could run this as a 1-of or a 2-of, but I like it as a 2-of in the deck. It's pretty cool to play with. This is a card that I'm still playing around with. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he insisted that I run this, and at first I was hesitant to run it, but after playtesting with the deck, I find that it works pretty well in the deck. It's something that I'm going to play around with more and see if I want to run this or something else in the deck. Maybe the Solemn Brigade. I'll run like 2 more Solemn Strikes and a Solemn Judgment. More play testing needs to be seen, but like I said, I'm just testing it currently, and that's Catapult Zone. So what this card does is, once per turn, if a monster you control would be destroyed by battle, which, like I said, a lot of my monsters are very low attack, so my opponent's going to easily try to destroy them by battle, you can send 1 rock monster from your deck to graveyard to prevent that monster from being destroyed. Now, in addition to this, I can send a Koa'ki to the graveyard and reborn that Koa'ki through Call of the Haunted or Monster Reborn, what have you, other reborn cards to bring back. That way, I can properly send a rock monster I want while keeping a rock monster on the field that I want to. So I can kind of more establish a stun board, quote unquote. It's something I'm testing. Do I like it? Yeah. Has it been really nice? Yeah. Is it essential? No. I'm still debating if I want to run this or I want to run, like I said earlier, 2 Solemn Strikes and a Solemn Warning, a Solemn Judgment, or 3 strikes for more of a stun aspect of the deck. More playtesting needs to be done, but I really like the way this card functions in the deck, so you can test it out. Catapult Zone. Next I run 2 Power Duality. This deck is very slow based. You don't special summon a lot unless it's Master Monk, or you're going into link plays with Scapegoat. So 2 Power Duality adds some consistency to your stun aspect of the deck. 1 Upstart Goblin. 1 Scapegoat. Like I said, you can use Scapegoat to go for link plays and what have you. Mrs. Radiant to boost up all your earth monsters you have. We also run Monster Reborn as well in the deck. Just like I said, more reborning power to do things. Good card. So these are your 1-of spells, your spells that you run, your other spells that you run in your deck. We also run for traps. We run 3 infinite impermanents. This is pretty essential to your deck for your stun aspect. It can do multiple things for you. So yeah, 3 infinite impermanents in the deck. Definitely essential. Next up, we run Double Lone Wolf. This is a card that I really like in the deck, and it works very well with Master Monk. So pretty much what this card does is, I'm going to read it to you because it's pretty good. You can only activate this card if there is only 1 monster on your side of the field, and if Mouse Fighter, Master Monk, or Monk Fighter are on the field. So you only can have 1 monster on your field, which is usually going to be Master Monk or Monk Fighter. That monster is not destroyed as a result of battle, and is unaffected by any of your opponent's monster effects. So that's pretty good. It gives you some protection for your Master Monk if you get them all pumped up and, you know, rocking and rolling. So yeah, I definitely like this as a 2 of in the deck. Next up, I run 2 Call of the Haunted. Like I said, I may run a third of this. You could run back to the front if you want to, but I like having my koa'ki mirrors in attack position. But you can either run 2 Call by the Haunted and a Call by the Grave, 3 Call by the Haunted. You can play with the ratio of this. But in addition, I also wanted to run 1 Solemn Warning because it just helps negate monsters that can be problematic, and it adds more of a stun aspect to the deck. But you can run more Solemn cards if you want to. So that's the deck in the nutshell. We will now go on to talking about the extra deck guys. But like I said, this deck is pretty fun to play with. I've thoroughly enjoyed playing with it and constructing this deck overall. So let's get into the extra deck. We have your Field Center, Akiza. We have the Phantom Knight Breaksword. Just your generic level 4s that you can go for sometime. You know, basic stuff right here. Utopia the Lightning. You know, Bagasucha, Evil Swarm, number 41, Tornado Dragon. Your big ship over here, which your number 27 that can go into your big mecha, your freaking big mech. Your Link plays, you know, Proxy Dragon, Link Karibo, Mrs. Radiant, your Nightmare Engine here. And you can either run Bull, Sword, or Borreload. So pretty much this is pretty straightforward, just generic links and level, you know, exceed monsters. Nothing snazzy really. As you see here, like I said, Mrs. Radiant. You can slow the video down and go back and see what I put down, but basic Nightmare package, basic, you know, just things you can go for off Scapegoat and other things. Basic level 4s in case you need to go for them. You know, basic things of that nature. So not super like this is cool to go for if you can go for it, which is really nice, but just generic stuff you can sometimes go for sometimes if the need arises. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this deck profile. Like I said, it's a fun deck to play. I've thoroughly enjoyed constructing it, and I've thoroughly enjoyed playing with it. It's been really, really fun to play with, and I hope you guys all enjoy this deck profile. And until next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, go Master Monk. I love this card, I've loved the archetype. I hope he gets more support in some way, shape, or form down the road. And I'll see you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you guys. Hope you enjoyed this deck profile, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And remember to bell the channel as well. And if you like to support the channel, please support us on Patreon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you. Take care, everybody.
I'm feeling like I'm torn apart, like I might be nothing. You've been leaving all these scars on everything you touch, and you got me like, whoa.